To keep your health, the best way to keep your health up is to fast.
Do you know, we do have a love affair with meat in this country, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And you think meat is bad for us?
There are more than one way and more than one aspect of meat being bad. Number one, meat takes from 5 to 13 hours to digest. We don't eliminate it enough, and plus the fact we wrap it up with starch, eating starches. And so here you've got a conflict going on in the colon with too much starch and too much protein. If we had more vegetables with it, it wouldn't be quite as bad, but it is bad because of the chemicals that is put into meat.
Well, Dr. Fulton, I mean, I really want to believe and do what you're recommending, but there's nothing to me that smells better than a steak in the oven. I mean, cooking.
Only because of the seasoning you put in.
It must be the psychological.
It's psychological, but only because you put the
But how do you get away
seasoning
from the psychological?
Yeah. Take the seasoning out that you smell, the onions, the garlic, and tomatoes, and green peppers and stuff. That's what you're smelling.
But can I eat those separately?
Eat them separately, that's better. That's better. No,
So you start thinking
the
about
meat doesn't
giving up.
smell that good. It's what you season it with.
Okay, let's take a quick call from home. I think someone else has a comment or a question. Hi, do you want to talk to Dr. Fulton?
Yes, I do. Dr. Fulton, I fast at least once a month for 4 to 5 days, and I drink distilled water and I take enemas. But now I have reason to believe that I'm expectant. Is there any danger in fasting when you're pregnant?
One day at a time, no. No danger in one day at a time, but do not go on up along without the advice of your doctor.
She should talk to her doctor, though.
Talk to your doctor even for that one day.
And thank you.
And what you consume during that one day.
Okay, we've got another question from the audience. Quickly,
Yes,
please.
Dr. Fulton, I was wondering if fasting or vegetarian diet causes headaches or faintness.
Does vegetarian diet
Cause headaches or faintness?
No. It's a toxic waste in the body that causes that. Now, if you go on a cleansing, as I mentioned before, you would not have that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a question.
Okay.
I'm going to be like Dan. I'm going
Reggie's
to
going to
rebel.
ask you a question later.
That's okay. I'm going to rebel. Dr. Alvenia Fulton is our guest, and she's talking about fasting and the benefits therein. But Dr. Fulton, fasting is not really admired by the medical community in this country, is it? I mean, there are a lot of medics who are against fasting, aren't they?
Well, they're against our procedure. Every medical man in the country does fasting. But you think putting you on an IV is, you're not eating.
Yes, that's true.
That's a form of fasting.
Why are they against fasting?
Well, they don't understand the procedure this way, you know. That's all it is. They fast everybody.
Does it stop them
Going
from
to
pushing pills, though? Does it cut down
kinda,
on the
yes, it would cut down
on the
that.
income a little bit?
Yes, it would probably cut down on that. So.
I guess the food manufacturers hate you too, don't they?
Yes, it would cut on the economy a little bit.
Let's go to the phones.
Okay, we're going to take another call from home. Hi, you're live on City Line.
Hi, my father is a newly diagnosed diabetic, and I was wondering if he could fast one day a week safely.
Yes, he could fast one day a week, and it would be best if he had a doctor to supervise him through a fast like we've had in Chicago when diabetics were fasted as much as 3 weeks a month and corrected their weight and also their diabetes. Remember this, diabetics, unless they're supervised correctly and all, they will lose their sex. And it's best for them to fast so they can keep their health and their love life.
Well, speaking of sex and loving longer, as I started out the show, how does fasting help in that area?
Fasting helps because it helps one to have a nice, sweet disposition.
Is that
and when
the
you have
only
a nice, sweet disposition, you look good, you feel good, you smell good, because when you fast,
I've heard people say that people who fast or people who are on non-meat diets actually smell better.
They do smell better because, you see, the vegetables don't stay in your body long enough to have that waste buildup that we call halitosis and body odor. Vegetarians don't have that. So they have a sweet disposition, personality, attitude, and they can smile when other people are frowning.
Okay, we got a question from the audience. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Fulton, I would like to know, how does fasting affect the nutritional balance of foods? such as how do we compensate for meats? In other words, is it an equal balance of the food groups?
If you select your food right. Now remember, no animal that we eat meat. They eat grain and grass, vegetables off the trees, off the plants. This is what they eat. The cows, the pigs, they don't eat meat. And so if we ate the vegetables and ate enough beans, peas, and grain, and soy bean is higher in protein than any meat is. Mm-hmm. And so if we knew how to select our food and were supervised and selected our food correctly, we would have what we need from the food.
It's interesting that you should say supervised, because I have known some people who have been vegetarians and who fasted quite often, and they've really run into some physical problems. They've had problems with their teeth.
Yes.
And with some other parts of the body. So it can be dangerous, can't it?
It can be, unless one is supervised. That's why I said if a person is going to fast more than one day at a time, don't do it unless you have a doctor or someone who's experienced at this to supervise you.
Okay.
Unless you got somebody who's taking a look at you at the whole time.
Yes, you must be supervised every day when you're
We're going to go to the phones again.
Hi, caller. You're live on City Line.
Yes. What I wanted to know is if you're nursing a newborn baby, what effects the one-day diet and the vegetation diet would have on the baby?
The vegetarian diet would be all right, but I wouldn't fast, again, I'd say, unless you had the supervision of the doctor. You must consider the baby's condition, the baby's need comes from the mother's breast.
Okay, another question from the audience. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Dr. Fulton, I'd like to know, at what age would you suggest to begin this fasting process, and would kids, say, under 12 be too young to begin this fasting?
No, start with any age when they're old enough for you to say, we're going to play a game. We're going to just drink this juice all day. We're going to drink a cup of tea. You have not been drinking tea all along, but you're going to drink a cup of tea with mom and daddy. We're going to have this game. We're going to play this game all day long. We're just going to drink this tea and this juice all day. so the child will say, Monday or whatever day is our game day, that we play games when we eat. And they'll get used to it, one day at a time.
Dr. Fulton, an awful lot of hungry people in the world, and I guess just in the back of my mind is we've done shows on hunger in Baltimore, hunger in the world. I mean, I don't know how you equate hunger and the fact that people can't afford to buy food with fasting. I mean...
Yes, that is true, but you see there's more plants and roots in the earth. That would be food also if people knew how to gather this and use it.
I guess maybe there's a way in which we can translate
There's a way you can translate. You see, man first ate fruit, roots, herbs, bark, and berries, bark from the trees.
Unfortunately, we are out of time, and I know I would want to talk to you for at least another half hour on television, and maybe another 2 or 3 hours afterwards. But you're going to be back in this area sometime soon in a public forum, right?
Yes, and a health expo in the Sheraton in Washington, D.C., the 3rd and 4th.
3rd and 4th of March.
I'll be speaking on the 4th, but I will be there. I will arrive on the 3rd of March.
Okay,
fantastic.
we have that
so
on
people
the
can
screen.
people can catch you there.
Yes.
Okay. Also, people can write to you in Chicago, right?
Yes. Write me at Box 21367, 60621. Box 21367, 60621. Dr. A. Fulton.
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, we've enjoyed talking to you today. I think that you've tickled our fancies here, and we're kind of interested in following up on what you've said about fasting.
Yes.
And those of you who'd like to see her in person, don't forget the session that will be held in Washington in March. We'll be back in a moment with T. Montier in the news.